Hello, sir. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
Hello,
good
sir. Can you hear me? I'm Sister in the mall.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Here.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. It is audible, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. അപ്പോൾ ഇതെല്ലാം എങ്ങനെയാ Hello, testing. Ramakrishnan, can you hear me?
Yeah, hear me. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It is audible.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Hello. Hello, testing.
കേൾക്കുന്നുണ്ടോന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. ഹലോ. A pleasant good morning to one and
Please
all.
say, ma'am, please say.
We are on the second day of our one-week International Online Faculty Development Program organized by Mount Carmel College of Teacher Education for Women in collaboration with School of Physical Education and Sports Sciences of Mahatma Gandhi University. I now invite Sister Rosie Lima PW, UGC Librarian of Mount Carmel College of Teacher Education for Women, to welcome and introduce today's resource person.
Good morning and welcome to the second day of the one-week International Online Faculty Development Program on prospects of virtual teaching, engaging learners and empowering teachers, organized by Mount Carmel College of Teacher Education for Women in collaboration with MG University, Kottayam. Today's session is on teaching during lockdown, opportunity or challenge, handled by Ramesh sir. The COVID-19 crisis may well change our world and global outlook, especially in the field of education. It was a sudden shift. It teaches about how education needs to change to be able to better prepare our young learners for what the future might hold. The lesson, like educating citizens in an interconnected world, redefining the role of the educator, teaching life skills needed for the future, and unlocking super technology to deliver education is our concern. Surely, COVID-19 pandemic has resulted in educational institutions across the world being compelled to great shift to utilize of available technological tools to teach and learn. Educators across the world are experiencing new possibilities to do things differently with greater flexibility, resulting in potential benefits for students. So today we have an eminent personality, Sir Ramesh Kesar, retired research officer, SCRT Kerala, to give us better understanding on the topic teaching during lockdown, opportunity or challenge. Now I would like to introduce today's presenter. Professor Ramesh Kesar, retired research officer, SCRT Kerala. He was high school teacher, higher secondary teacher, and principal research officer, and diet lecturer in social science. Sir participated, presented, and coordinated number of seminars and workshops. His research was on a study on educational students of Muthuvan tribes of Edamalakudi, Palakkad, Idukki district, Kerala. Many projects were carried on. Many report has written many reports. Sir also created digital tools for the school students. On behalf of Mount Carmel College family, Principal Dr. Pushpa Marian, coordinators of this faculty development program, Dr. Lisi and Dr. Suma, faculty, and all the participants of these seminars, I extend to you, sir, a warm welcome. We believe that you will lead us to a new horizon. I strongly believe that each one of us, to the extent of our involvement, will do everything possible to achieve from this FDP program. We shall together follow our path energetically and creatively and extend to reach each one of you a sincere welcome to this program.
Thank you.
Let us all join together to make this event a great success. Once again, I welcome each and every one of you to this program. So, with much expectation, may I call upon Professor Ramesh sir for this fruitful session. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Shall I start? Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, can hear.
Shall I start?
Okay, sir, shuts.
Before beginning my task, how can I present this thing? How long I can speak? How long we can discuss? Let me have a clarity on that one.
Hello, sir.
Shall I continue?
We have time till 12:30.
12:30.
Yes, sir, you can continue.
And keep 45 minutes.
Yeah, up to 12:30.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
I take this opportunity to express my great concern to the Mount Carmel College of Teacher Education Women for providing me an opportunity to interact with the young teachers who are coming into our profession and the veterans in this field. And I also can express my gratitude to MG University who take pain to conduct such a seminar during lockdown, which is very relevant during the field of teacher education. And I also express my thanks to Dr. Lizzie and Dr. Suman, and also Dr. Pushpa Mary, principal of the esteemed organization. Shall we start? Sometimes this topic may give no meaning to us up to last year. The word is very familiar to us, the COVID, which creep into our mind along with the new year of 2020. 2020 itself is a funny year and who brings a lot of. Okay, shall I continue?
Yes, sir, you can continue.
Okay. Very funny thing to us because lockdown created a lot of problem or challenge or opportunities to school education. Unfortunately, the whole system came into a full stop without any notice. The teachers were in panic because the lockdown happens in March. March was the month of examinations and almost the end of an academic year. The end of the academic year, the examinations are sometimes it is half done and in some cases it is yet to be started. All of a sudden, the educational function of almost all area in the world came to a full stop, and teachers are in pressure, teachers are in pain, how to support the children sitting in the home, and children also in panic without taking departure from their classmates. They a fine morning they have to sit in house without any idea how far they have to, how long they have to sit in that their home. Let us, before starting to our new task, we can remind what is happening in our school and what was the role of a teacher before this panic-ridden COVID-19. The children look at the teacher as a parent. He is mostly he is the next to parent, and children steps into class one feels that almost all teachers are their parents or mother, and mothers as teachers like mothers they take care of their emotional needs and protect them as far as possible. Sometimes we feel that the school provide nourishment or food for the children. So in some case we can't believe so, but almost all the part of the world, school is a provider of food, especially lunch to the children with nourishment. Due to the COVID-19, this provision is stopped. Some of the children staying at their home without sufficient food because the parents lose their work, parents lose their wage, they don't have any provision to get food for their young ones, but that was provided by the schools. But COVID stopped this noon meal facility to them. Instead, apart from the chances to have educate, they got education, they also lose their food. The the children feel that the teachers are their role model. They look every respect, every aspect teacher as a hero, not a ordinary man or just like their parents. That they feel that teachers are always right. They will always telling the truth. Their knowledge is not questionable. They are not ready to change the uh, knowledge or information provided by the teacher if it is, even though it may be wrong, and spend most of the time in school. The daytime from the daybreak or from 10 o'clock up to 4 o'clock, they are under the control of the teachers. That much confidence, that much care, that much facility is provided by the school to the children, which came to a full stop. To world, you may be just a teacher, but your students, you are a hero. The teachers are never recognize this fact that children look at in a different angle to them, different respect to them, different they depend with teacher for every aspect of their day-to-day life. That strong support is withdrawn from the children, and they are almost closed in the house because of this panic. Okay, the panic spread very rapidly. Schools are closing down. Parents start panicking, and the teachers confused and in stress. Children were excited about the unexpected vacation. Always children are very liking to the vacations, but in this case they lost because some of the videos on after SSLC examinations, the children are taking part very sadly because they are once again they are going back to the jails of the four walls of the houses. So they feel that their emotions are not addressed properly. It can be compared with any warlike situation. During the war, most of the children are closed in the safety or security of the four walls of the houses. Same is the condition of that one. If you look at the roads of Kerala, 20% of the population, that is children from children up to the age of 18, are taken away from the roads, and the beauty of the road is always lost. It is like a desert for the grown-ups who are rushing to get their daily food. That is the usual sight of the road. Actually, that road was flooded with school-going children, and their funs and their jokes and their joyful face are always make us to enjoy the time. But it is the last 6 months, it was not there in the our road. Okay, let's go. Next, next slide, please. the only solution before us is a drastic change into schools, a drastic change um, by adopting e-learning materials. There is no other possible way because the children are away from school. Teacher is also away from school. Nobody has to be as in a position to come over school and revamp the education activities. So for the time being, we can adopt depend on the virtue of internet connectivity and e-learning resources that help to continue the process of education uh, even with some limitations. Next, please. Teachers before COVID. School is a second home for children. Children take care of. Okay, it's already discussed. Next slide, please. Teacher prepares students for examination. That's the role of teacher. The student feels that the presence of teacher and the words of teacher, the notes of teacher, the discussions that happened in the classroom make me to uh, face the examination very confidently. And my teacher strictly monitor my assignments, make me to get feedbacks how I can pass over the process of course or examinations or even the classes without any problem. That's the way children looking at the teachers. Okay, next slide, please.
Sorry, sir, can I interrupt? Sir,
Okay,
could you speak louder? Audibility is low, sir.
okay. I will speak louder because I can't hear how you hear me. That's a problem to me. I will speak. Now, is it okay?
Sir, it's better now.
Okay. I will make more louder in my speech.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Shall I continue from here itself?
Sure, sure, sir.
Okay,
Sure.
okay. Assessment, assess students' performance level. There's another task of the teacher that the student expect from the teacher. His performance are assessed and ensure students proper perform equally. Students equivalence of the performance of the students. If some weak students, teacher put more care and bring him or her up to the level. That's a task we expect from the teacher. Okay. Teachers are mostly reluctant to use digital devices in the classroom because it may be teachers like we people or aged teachers, they don't like to bring these things in classroom that may be distract the attention of the students, and we are confident with our good old blackboard and chalk. So teachers, you reluctant to use, even though during the assignments, seminars, and some other tasks they may be given with the support of this digital device. Most of the teachers are happy with the traditional system. But in Kerala, we are introducing these new digital devices with the support of SCRT. Then the teachers are gradually shifted to new role. Schools have rules and regulations. Students are expected to obey the rules. This is another challenge. School make them to develop in a rule obeying citizen. But if the children are away from the four walls or the compound of the school, there is nobody to take care of their activities, nobody to guide them proper way. The digital devices is not sufficient to give personal support, personal suggestions and advices. That's another challenge in the field of education during which created the lockdown or COVID-19. Okay, next please. Okay, help the school, help the children to sit together and work with their group and learn themselves, make more better communicator and a better leadership quality among them. Group activities make them to learn effectively, and students communicate with each other in a better manner and understand how others are learning with my support and how I can learn with the support of others. That's happen only in a live classroom, not in a digital device supported classroom. That is another limitation of the new method we are trying to introduce in our system. This we have no other way to retain the traditional classroom because of the time demand. So while shifting into new platform or new digital mode, we keep in mind how far we can able to use these strategies in our digital classes also, enable social skills and boost their confidence. Children began to share their experience with other children in the group, and that makes them confidence in handling social situations. If that is not happen in a classroom, the child fail to communicate with the whole society and keeps relation only with the family members. Teacher in post-COVID situation, educational institutions are forced to change. Students are out of school. There is no need to come to school as a teacher because his most important tool that a student is not available in the schools. So we have to think in a different way how to address the children sitting in the houses, how to continue their education from the domestic environment and sitting in teachers' own residence with the support of new digital device is a opportunity to us that brings us new knowledge, new technology, new competencies, and we become more rich, skillful teacher in this COVID scenario and help the state, whole state to continue our education. School has to go e-learning as a solution for the challenge that created by this tiny virus. Students do not have to be present in classes. If they are, if we let them free, what will happen? The picture says itself that this happened in a dense forest. The children are climbing in a small tree. Their parents are not there. So if the school working days, these children are sitting in the classroom under the control or under the warmth of a teacher. Now the school is not there. The child forced to roam around their surroundings and make dangerous fun, dangerous funs. Okay. Teacher has to teach the lessons online. It is not a highly popular one because online facilities are available 2 decades back. But we are not familiar with these online activities. The only thing we familiar with the mobile phone, and most of the teachers use, the aged teachers use only for communicating, and they are not able to use their handsets for searching or gathering data because there was no much demand from us. We people feel that it is better to have a book and read it, read and share the experience, either written or voice, uh, verbal manner. It is not highly popular, so e-learning has become mandatory. Mandatory means it is not legally binding, but there is no other alternative to address this COVID situation to enable our children to bring back to the mm, bring back to the bring back to knowledge or continue their education which was disrupted by this COVID-19. Okay. More virtual institutions are coming up. There is challenge creating mm, before us. Advertisements are coming up. More apps and more platforms are making advertisement in the media. Some rich parents or middle class parents may cope up with that one. That create a drift among the children, haves and have nots, or children belongs to rich group or children belong to rich family and poor family. Children from rich background can move along with this digital devices, and poor and marginalized children their education will be stopped. They may be out of school. They're forced to stop their education. So continuing their education is their activity is engage them in activity is our challenge, and the only possible way before us is digital devices. Teacher, digital specialist in post-COVID period, all our teachers make become a digital expert. High chances for a second wave, so we can predict how long this pandemic will survive and when will open the schools for us. A few school will reopen because the administrators, the authorities may allow the schools of higher secondary and high school classes to reopen, but the chances, the widespread of this pandemic, government forced to close down the primary schools for more extension, or otherwise they will open schools in region base. So least affected district may be allowed to open the schools, or least affected regions may also allowed to open their school. There is no clarity how these schools will, when the school will open and how long it will open. There, if there is a chance of a second wave, the again there may be a lockdown. That not clear. That confusion is still exist in before us. So we can't wait for some more time to things may be settled down. We have to act rapidly because our children are frustrating. Difficulty in maintaining social distancing, another problem in schooling, especially in lower primary schools. How can we maintain this social distancing? Children are very dynamic, and they usually play with each other, even in the presence of the teacher. And if the teacher away from classroom, what what are all things may happen there. So social distancing is maintaining in a small classroom. So the primary classroom, it is very difficult. That also maybe force the government to extend the reopening of primary schools for some more days. Fewer students will get accommodation in classes. Now our classes are having a capacity of 40 students. Sometimes 50 to 55 students are sitting in the same classroom. But if the schools open, the classes began to start, we can't accommodate that much students in that condition. The school may go to a shift-based classroom. For a portion of the children come in the morning shift, morning session, and the remaining will be in afternoon sessions, or alternative days classes. Different option may be there, but it will not go back to the classroom settings of the pre-COVID situation. The teachers are not exposed to remote teaching technologies. That's another challenge before us. That the whole teaching community in Kerala or in the whole country, their age coming from 25 to 56, their capabilities are different. Youngsters may more exposed to new type of technology. The aged teachers, senior teachers, they are not exposed, and they find it difficult to use this technology for their classroom preparation. That they, again, government, training institutions, and other organizations take care of them, prepare themselves for digital classroom. Training may important to the teacher to use digital devices. Our ITH school and present KITE has started its function decades back to provide digital awareness among the teachers, but even still, it is in beginning stage. So that has to be taken. That has a, a serious challenge before the teaching community of Kerala. How we can make the classroom more digital friendly. Getting the attention of students, not an easy task. Children are very dynamic. In front of a teacher, they may be obedient, they will attend the teacher. But instead of a live classroom, they're forced to sit in front of a small mobile screen or a laptop screen or a TV. And the all other things are remain the same without any change in their domestic atmosphere. The children fail to retain their attention to the small little screen where the teacher presents the teaching lessons and the concepts she is explaining or the work she is imparting. So it's another challenge. Make the teaching style more creative. There is only possible way to make the class more attentive by creating the class more attractive to the children. Instead of uh, making class very fast moving one, give more and more intervals, leisures, jokes, and stories blended with the class and catch the attention of the student as like a movie in the TV. TV, that's a challenge for the teacher. Student will lose interest in online class. That's a fact. If you interact with the children in Kerala or schools, they will tell their parents will also tell that the children are not interested in attending class. It is very boring. Even the teachers are also have the same opinion. The teachers working in college class feels that it is very boring to speak into this screen instead of the living 20 or 40 smiling face. I have to look at the camera and uttering my classes without any interest. Within weeks, they are getting bored. Creative creativity help to grab attention of the students. That means teacher must be more creative, more interesting. He may be an performer, performing the artistic form or music or storytelling in whatever way, because we are performing before our children. A mother always sing sweet song to the little baby when he or she is cradle, because mother's voice is very sweet to them. Most of the teachers are reluctant to perform anything before the children because they are not ready to do so. But here we are forced to do, as the attention is very important to us. Children attend our class, and that attention is guaranteed only with the support of creative performance of the teacher. So creativity is the need of the day. Easy distractibility is main backwardness of e-learning. Things may be easily distracted in children, especially children in primary and teenage group. They will be easily distracted. They are not ready to look at the camera or look at the screen. So many funny things happen during these days. One naughty boy made a trick that he removed his name from the Google platform and put it as connecting dot dot dot. The screen appears his name as connecting dot dot dot. The teacher feels that he was tried to connect the device with the platform, but that type of funds are taking place. So distraction is has to be addressed in our e-learning material preparation, teacher preparation, how to gain attention of the children with a frequent intervals at least at 10 minutes gap. There may be a gap, there may be some fun. Let the children to interact themselves with them, because they are not frequently interacted after March 20th or some. So, so, so that provision will be given. Students will lose interest in on. Okay, next. Teacher get more exposure. What are the advantages? Here, teacher is familiarizing with, acquainting with a new tool, and that tool makes him or her in a better position. Teacher will be trained towards the unprecedented transition from the class-based teaching to digital-based teaching. That create more confidence to them. They perform better way. So many tools, devices, attractive pictures, videos can be added to this uh, our lesson plans, our day-to-day preparation. We can put songs, poems, and even bit of films or drama. Theater can be also utilized. So teacher will change, and the teacher will provided with a lot of supports, tools for their better transaction in the classroom. Best time for them to grab new opportunities. The teacher can shift into editors. The teacher can shift into e-learning material producers, because our digital employment market is looking for prospective teachers who are able to develop digital material for classroom, because engineers can't produce it without the support of teacher, because they are not aware of the things happening in the classroom. So this is an opportunity for teacher to become more expertise in his field, and get better opportunities in our profession. Okay. Online teaching experience with a new digital platform. So many platforms, I suppose you have discussed yesterday, different platform available in our digital world. These platforms are, you will got a direct hands-on experience in using these digital devices, either provided by the government, the state and central government are provided different facilities. Apart from these, private institutions and private agencies are also providing a lot of digital platform, mobile or on the computer based platforms are available. Add advantage to your career path. You can choose better options and better career path. A part of our listeners are, I suppose, B.Ed students. They will get a better opportunity. Teaching is all, of course, teaching is a better opportunity. Along with the teaching, or apart from the teaching, they can get employment in the computer based material productions. Okay. Teacher to do something different in post-COVID period. No burden to go to school. That's a advantage to teacher. He or she can save time to travel and back to home. My colleague who is residing in Calicut, she is working in Manandawadi. Daily spend 5 hours to travel. Now she is gaining that 5 hours. That's a virtue for her. Working from home is not an easy task. Remember, working from home is always disrupted by other persons, mostly the teachers living in the houses with their small children, kids, or school going children, always make disturbance. If you closely observe to the screen, we can feel that kind of disturbance happened in the school. So, sorry, houses. The teacher should plan the things in a systematic way, and arrange their work in a systematic way, and convey their problems, their plans to the spouses. Uh, Dear, I have to take class. Actually, I am not in a school, but I have to take, I have to perform like in a school. So, don't disturb in these times. That kind of planning must be there, or otherwise, all these things will be disturbed. Working from home is a challenge to the teachers, but that challenge can overcome with a proper planning, work planning, and sharing their uh, mm, things with the family members. Okay. Interruption can happen in family. Sometimes the others, the neighbors, the acquaintance, or the sales girls, or some other street vendors, may intervene to your workplace and disturb your work. That can also be accommodated and taken into consideration while working with software digital devices, and plan things in a systematic manner, because you will gain more time from traveling, and you can work your own without any disturbance. Reconciliation between professional and personal life. Professional life is there, personal life is there. Always teacher is gives more importance to their personal life than professional life, than the other professionals like doctors, engineers, or pilots, or someone else. Because they don't keep keep away from their professional life. They are always keep away their professional life from personal life. But most of the teachers are taking two tasks together, and sometimes the personal life dominate their professional life. That's a criticism from the part of society. Nowadays we will try to match these two life, because we are doing our professional life for our personal life, so we can uh, sacrifice one for the other. We can take these two tasks together and become a good professional in our field. We are getting time, surplus time from traveling. That time may be managed in a proper way, and communicate to our family members that this time I have to spend in a proper way. I'm not spending enjoying the lockdown period. I'm not sitting idle in home. I'm preparing for my children. The task is more advancing. I have to spare more time in front of computer, because I have to seek the support of my colleagues, and prepare things for study things, and prepare things for my children. That way we fix our task, and fix our role, and share this with our family members, and follow a strict timetable, and utilize our time at home in a systematic way. Okay. Fun loving teachers, students' point of view. Students are always looking at the teacher who provides them stories, um, fun, or jokes that make the things more attractive and interesting for them. You act according to the age of your learner. Make a contact with them in that way. You make a phone call, and get their personal details on their emotional problems, and support them. Then only you become a teacher appropriate for the COVID period. In classroom they are controlled by corporal punishment. I don't know I can use that word here, because our Supreme Court strictly banned use of any kind of punishment in our classroom. But either it may be a reality, or it may be uh, a fact. The teachers are not at happy if they are banned from using their magic sticks, because that sticks give them confidence in standing before a child. I don't know. I don't think that a stick always is it is always a mark of authority, but not a tool for the teacher. A teacher is always keep this stick as an authority, and place it in front of a table as his mark of authority. But in digital classroom, we don't have any such a tools, or even our sharp words, or our eye contact. If you glare at the child, he will turn away from the computer. He don't attend that your remarks. So punishment is not there in our digital classroom, in learning classroom. So in inappropriate behavior, disobedience of the student, irregular attendance of the students, these things are to be take care of the teacher by his magic, willpower and love and affection to the children. Then only this e-learning venture become a success, or otherwise it will flop within months. Okay. Magic sticks or stand outside the classroom, that the things we use in the classroom, children are keep away from the classroom as a punishment for misbehaving in the classroom or not attending the classroom. But in e-learning system or e-learning scenario, we are not able to use that one. In online teaching, it is farewell to punishment. Children, one thing, children are more happy with the online teaching because of there is no punishment, there is no scope for punishment. You can ask them to write imposition, but you are not getting it a proper way. And so uh, that's also a challenge to the teacher, because controlling the children in a proper manner is more challenging than in a pre-COVID situation where you have personal contact. You can seek the support of the parents or ask the parents to come and meet you. But in an online situation, this strong hold is missing. No, no problem at all. You can change it a little effort from your part can overcome this challenge and make better relationship with your learner and force them or pursue them to obey things and follow the classroom activities. Okay. Teacher in post-COVID class. He is jovial. Jovial means he is smart, active, light-hearted, and lovely. To attract children, I remember once our Mullaneri, the famous Malayalam poet, who shared an experience when he was in 8th standard. All the children that high school is a new school. All the children are sitting in the classroom and looking at the staff room. Who is going to be our class teacher? A group of teachers came out of the staff room with attendance and moving towards different classroom. A black heavy man with white cloth and white shirt moving to his class. At that moment, he thought that how many teachers are there? Beautiful ladies and gentlemen are there. These black heavy fellow is only to me to become an 8th standard class. My 8th standard class. After 1 week, Mulaneri told his class teacher, that was our feeling when you step into my class or our class. But within few days, within a week, you changed our approach to you, and you become our most loving teacher. Surely this experience was shared by Mulaneri at the age of 70. You look that experience, that things happened in 70 means 55 or 60 years back. That classroom and that teacher is still living in the mind of a old aged student. That means that is the effect of a teacher in the mind's appearance, effect of appearance of a teacher in the mind of children. So as a teacher, you try to please them as good looking teachers, smart teachers, and loving, affectionate teacher in front of them with a digital device. That is very difficult and very important. How to become a loving teacher in a digital platform. Technological malfunctioning is a part of the technology. Every moment we are facing this problem. Now the control of slide is not with me. So I am waiting for the moment of this slide. And if there is a second way, a second delay in moving the slide or a fast moving slide create a, a confusion in me. And technology is always creating that problem to a teacher. A teacher took the laptop to a classroom with a icon of globe. A funny child go to the mm, teacher's desk and make it as a full screen. Then the teacher got tempered because she don't know how to keep the previous screen, how to come back to the previous screen, because there is no icon to size down or shut down the computer as it is in full screen. That way, small technical issues may make nervous in the teachers, and they keep away these devices and depends on the blackboard. Another problem, rural children have little access to digital tools and internet. Even in a well-developed state, Kerala, so a number of villages, hundreds of villages do not have internet facility and proper connecting devices. They are not, they have only this mobile handset, no Android phones or phone sets with them. And the connectivity is very poor. If they want to speak in phone, they have to go some particular area of the houses for getting connectivity. That is a condition of our villages. So using technologically supported platforms is again a challenge for us. But even then, it will be improved when time goes on. 10 years back, while we were discussing about the ITS subject in primary and secondary classes, we don't have computer in our schools. We used to the thermocol sheet for screen and UPS and CPU as a model of computer before the children. But within years, things are changed. Even in a very remote primary schools, there have computer printers and even internet facility. Technology access to technology is increasing, but at present there is a challenge to provide these facilities. Digital tools might have the accessible to not accessible to rural families. Again, there is a drift, a divide between the rich and poor, urban and rural, marginalized and rich people. That has to be addressed. We can seek the support of local self governments, our people representatives, or other organizations to come over these situations and provide more support to the children. Of course, Kerala is ready. Kerala people are ready to extend their support in providing facilities to the children. That is very evidently seen in last 2 or 3 months, because at the beginning of this digital, at the beginning of the pre-recorded video classrooms by Kerala government. One mishap was there in Malappuram district, and all of a sudden, all the political parties and all the members of legislative house and even local self-government took the initiative to provide either phone or TV to the poor families, children from poor families to attend the video lessons telecasted by Kite. So digital divide is a problem, but it will if we address this issue, we can overcome this issue with the support of public. They will provide it. Okay. Low income family with poor income also faces this problem that can be addressed with the support of the public and the government, local self-government, and everybody in the society. Unstable connectivity is a problem, and it is also getting reducing nowadays different service providers are there, and service providers are also taking care to provide better connectivity to the children in rural area. uh, if we have the will, that will overcome in the future. And if we point all these things in our discussions, that is our approach is, or someone read, we people are not ready to change. That is why we are pointing these challenges in a big one. Of course these challenges are there, we will overcome it one by one, but we focus at present. The only possible solution is e-platform and e-learning facilities, and we try to overcome these difficulties in a systematic manner. Okay. No one to look after children during daytime. There is a possibility or problem of the family members if we stick on the IT enabled or e-platform classes. Most of the parents are earning their day-to-day life activities by working in private sector, public sector, or housewives, or a number of work. So they depend school as a safe place for their children in the daytime. When the school closed and e-learning facilities are provided, that create a challenge to the family, because children require telephone, this mobile phone, for listening to the educational classes or videos. But the parents are not in a position to keep these things for the children's learning. That create clashes of interest in the houses. So we can, if we have a will, we can manage that time, and the time of the classes may be shifted into evening, where the members of the family returned, and they can use these devices without much conflict of interest. Or otherwise, we can make the class at the early morning. Members of the family are there, and we can also seek the support of local self-government to provide community care facilities in the settlements, in the housing colonies, to accommodate children whose parents are going outside for work. Or otherwise, that's also a problem to the COVID pandemic time. Social institutions can also significant issue in distant learning. Social isolation can also be a significant issue in the distant learning. Children are isolated. They don't have any social interaction with their friends, their school teachers, and other members of the family. I already told you that 20% of the Kerala's population are kept houses, in the walls of houses, for safety from the COVID pandemic, and they sit in the houses for last 6 months, 6 or 7 months. Even they are keeping away from the visitors of the house. Even the family relatives are not allowed to interact with the children, and children are in a very panic situation. And the early days of this COVID pandemic, children some of the children find it difficult to listen to the news, because everywhere the news channels are filled up with the issues related to the spread of pandemic in outside the country. The European countries and American countries are facing serious challenges from COVID-19. At that time, children are very put in very pressure. That pressure is still existing. And if we are able to launch this e-learning platform in a systematic manner, we can address all these things with the support of our digital teachers with the digital platform. students make friendship from a school. The school is closed, their friendship is almost finished. There is no tuition, there is no Sunday classes, there is no church, there is no mosque, there is no outing, there is no entertainments for them. So children lose along with education all their entertainment from their families. Most of the families are facing economic issues, and at that time the parents also fail to establish good relation with the children, or their stress and their pains all share with the children, make them more unhappy. There is no physical education class which provide them exercises and body fitness. So school is another function to take care of the healthy living situation of the learner. That is in a challenge, but nobody, I don't know, the teachers except a physical education teacher notice this problem. No cultural activities, Sahitya Samajam, or other cultural meetings, other speeches by the poets or literary figures in the class. That is not there. Now this is almost the second term of school where youth festivals are celebrating now. Most of the school compounds are sounded with music, rehearsal camps for the youth festival of the school. There is nobody is, I don't know, anybody notice this change. No excursions for them. They are simply sitting in them. These things are reality. The teachers has to address the reality. During the lessons, we can show some beautiful pictures, videos that make some relax to their mind, some beautiful song, some cultural activities. That way we can connect to our classroom more attractive, and along with some changes, some emotional relaxation among the change. Okay, thank you, ma'am. But it is only Victor is providing an pre-recorded video. The child want to play in football in a ground, or otherwise they may be giving some yoga classes or some other classes. That's a good thing. I admit it. I am happy with that one. But you simply imagine a ground which is full of children during lunch break or intervals. Within that 10 minutes, how much fun they created in that small piece of land with balls or rings or some tennis, all these things. But that is totally vanished there. Another problem is internet data, availability of data, and data is costly, expensive. A poor family find it difficult to get data cards. If they have internet connectivity or telephone facility, it will so cheaper than the mobile data facilities. Most of the poor family is using, and village people are using internet data with mobile data, and sometimes these data running out of which create a problem to the learning of children. That's a reality. The teacher has to be accommodated, but we don't have a solution. We can ask our parents to reserve some data for our children. Most of the parents use this data for the searching Google, or spending Facebook searching for maybe an entertainment for them, but reserve some data for the children, because the learning is an important for their family. So uh, either spend some money or reserve some data for their children. Student make fun in Zoom. That is Now I'm thinking of the days where keeping mobile in school is a offense, and teachers frequently verify the belongings of the children to find out the whether they are keeping mobile or CD or some digital devices with them. As a principal, I usually I'm also forced to do that. If I get a mobile, I ask the child to bring their parent and give it back. But according to the standing instruction, we have to auction it and remit the amount in government treasuries. But that is tiny virus challenges the whole thing, and mobile become a mandatory one. Sometimes these children are making fun of these devices. If you are able to use one device in a proper way, that is good. If you are not able to use it, children will manipulate it. Best way not to manipulate tools. We teach them use these materials in a systematic manner for their well-being and better life. That is important. Share the dangers in the digital world and keep away from them in that danger. That is the duty of a teacher to impart this information to them, make them uh, safe from this digital manipulation. Okay. Online platform easily accessible, but not to lower income groups. Once again, it is a income divide. As a teacher, I'm able to purchase all these things. My children are gifted with these devices, but uh, a tribal family or a coastal family settled in coastal area or a very poor family, they don't have the ability to get a laptop or a digital device for their children. That can be addressed in a social way. Let the panchayat or public library or social organization provide some facility with with keeping all these COVID mandatories, and a group of two or three or five, six children with the social distancing and work with the computer or learn things. That is the way we can address this economic division during COVID period. New age model cannot match classroom learning. That is an important thing keep in mind by the teachers. This is a good device, a good tool for teacher, but the tool can be used to replace the teacher. We keep in mind that this tool can be used to replace the teacher, and the activities of the teacher itself is the guarantee to reserve our place, because a poem, a lesson, a content can be easily transacted with an expert teacher by an online platform that provide these information to the learner in an easy way. Only the information. It is not the knowledge. Knowledge that can be handed over or transacted or shared to the children with a human being. That is human touch of education. Human part of education can't be keep away. So digital tools support the teacher, not replace the teacher. Teacher must be there in every community who try to keep away teacher with the digital devices. Identify the issues related to uncontrolled use of digital devices. You can do anything in your computer, any language, any vulgar pictures, anything you can use in the screen. Then finally you select it and delete. It's okay. You can't utter a word to anybody. If it is felt or fell in the ears of the person, you can't delete it. It is still there. You can request for excuse, but even then that matter is there. So digital device is digital device. It cannot be replace the teacher. Teacher must be there. Teacher is a member of the community. Teacher is a member, aged member, sound knowledge about the society can be impart the knowledge of the society to the younger generation. So while interacting with these teaching devices, these materials, we can't we can't say that this is better than a living teacher. Living teacher is always a living teacher. She can or he cannot be replaced with a digital device. And while using these technologies, we make sure that our presence, our control, our guidance is important to the child than an instrument. Instrument is a technology that always tries to replace. For example, during COVID period, most of the samples are collected by nurses and they are under the threat of this pandemic can be spread to them, and they took a number of security measures to keep away from this pandemic. But when the computer aided system introduced, there is no question of that much risk. But if this thing continue, the labs are replaced with a computer mechanism to collect samples and replace a lab technician. That means there is a challenge, there is a conflicting interest between this man and machine. And in education, we can't use machine much as machine itself, but we can use that machine as a tool for the better communication, better interaction, better teaching, learning, teaching process in the classroom. Okay. Okay, next. Then pedagogical issues. Lastly, I come to the real thing the teacher has to be keep in mind. Observation is the most important tool for any living being, because a tiger makes himself safe from the enemies and successful in collecting his food only because of his ability to observe the environment. When man lead the animal life in the forest, he also used to observe and learn things from natural phenomena. Look, sand is a thing that melts in the water, but man succeeded in making sand to a pot which can keep water for any long period. Only because of his observation skill, he can convert the clay into a pot which alter his life, because drinking water is very important for all living beings and it is available only in the streams and rivers. And these streams and rivers are always presence of the animals. Man is not free to go there and collect water because all kind of animals are there. So he tried to get water and keep safely in his hut, and hut he feel that he can overcome this one. So observation is an important tool or device that a teacher can use in the classroom. But unfortunately, the prospective teachers who undergoing training program, how can they observe and make sure the principles and theories they learned in the classrooms are right or practicable in classroom situations? How can they observe the teenage students, their features, their psychological problems, their emotional problems? Because there is no classroom in front of a prospective teacher during this pandemic. He has to, if he is permitted to take teaching practice in online platform, there is no other way. And in practicing teachers also in problem, how they can get feedback from the children, their expressions, their body language, their emotions, how can they collect? So in digital platform, observation is very serious question before us. And teacher educators, as teacher educators, we have to address this and communicate our teacher trainees how to overcome this challenge, how to observe that the principles or theories they have learned in their psychological, philosophical, and sociological classes, where they get examples from the classroom. Or otherwise, in such situations, they can, is it possible to get small group of children with the pandemic, sorry, COVID protocols and interact with them, or otherwise use telephone as a or mobile phone as a better communicating way and get the details of the children and their mood and their thoughts with a frequent interval with a keep in touch with the child. And lack of chance to participate in practice the principles on education. In education class, we have learned a lot of things. Once a psychological teacher asked me if the dog of Pavlov is not observed, or that dog failed to observe the methods of Pavlov, how can he develop that theory? Only because of the observations and learning of the dog, the Pavlov put this conditioned response theory before us. So in every learning, observation is important, and observation is an takes place only when we interact directly or indirectly. But indirect observation is difficult one, and through a digital device. In that situation, we take care of our teacher trainees to observe in different ways, to understand, assess, and get the feedback from children about their understanding on the concepts, understanding on the um, informations we are providing, and how they are able to make this information to a concept in their mind. Lack of face-to-face interaction is a challenge before a teacher, even very senior teacher, because I don't know how he is reacting to my questions or my experiences or my remarks, and how can I reflect on my class. After my class, I have to sit back and think, am I successful in my presentation? What are the problems I have faced? In what way I fail in my planning? And how can I avoid these mistakes in future planning? That way, if I am in front of you, I am listening to observing your feedbacks or your expressions. I can make out a reflection. But here I am not possible. The same is the condition of a teacher using digital device for teaching. Their observation is very difficult one, but that can be uh, mm, get rid of with some other devices and some other tasks in an online webinar. One of my professor used five of the participants to write name of five flowers, and then he asked them to write a paragraph on the presentation. But unfortunately, the five material is five different way. Some of them describe the features of that flower they selected. Some of them rightly describe the things about the diversity. Diversity was the topic that we were discussing. So communication in and of online mode is very difficult. So the communicator, from the part of communicator, make sure that the listener is getting proper um, they are getting the information in proper way and make sure the proper feedback from them. Then lack of Facebook face-to-face interaction can be overcome in that way, and this is mostly a new method we are adopting. We are forced to adopt because of this pandemic. So the remedies or rectifications will be followed. Anyhow, we will learn swimming if we are jumped into water. Now we are forced to jump. Then we will come with a remedy. Okay. Teaching is an human activity. I already mentioned human activity where the senior members of the community is placed or provided to the youngsters or children to learn the custom, to learn the priorities, to impart the knowledge acquired by the community is a very, very traditional one. In almost tribal family, this type of teaching is taken place by the senior members of the family. When the tasks are increased and the volume of knowledge also increased, some selected members of the community posted as teachers. Now, even now, we are advanced technologically a lot. Print media is there, digital devices is there, video facilities are there. Even now, a teacher stand in front of 30 or 40 students and explain things, because we can't keep away the humane aspect of education from classroom transaction. Uh, in a pandemic situation, we are forced to keep away that human aspect from classroom. We can keep this human aspect with a digital device. Our voice, our presence, our videos, our photos are very important to the learner. We we um, our presence, our sound, our voice are that much attractive, that much interesting, that much um, fascinating to them. If um, you can really feel when you try to communicate your teacher trainees in an audio video call format, how happy they were to see, listen your voice in a, even though it is in a digital way, because human loves human to sit together and share their ideas. So um, digital device is not a solution forever, but it is only a short-term remedy for this pandemic. We will go back to our real classroom, but for the time being, we can only adopt this digital device for our classroom transaction. Cannot replace the digital platform. Okay. Difficulty in maintaining learning process that based on group activities, thought processes, thought-provoking activities, and assignments. That things are not possible because two-way interaction is very limited. Even though the computer can use two-way communication, its cost effectiveness and the availability of system to the children are very limited. So maintaining learning process is difficult. So the teacher plan their lessons in a systematic manner, not in a regular classroom way. That is why the teachers are telling that we can cover the portions in a easy manner with a short term. And teachers like we people say that no, you are not teaching. Your learner has to listen your voice, sound, and repetition from their colleague classmates. Make them to learn things gradually. But in a audio lesson or pre-recorded video lesson, won't make sure that learning is happening in the classroom. But here we engage the children from the engage them and maintaining a tendency to learn things more, and we are waiting for a reopening classroom schools, and things will start regularly. Thought process may be checked. There is no device to check the thought process. Examinations are there. Most of the examinations take place in Google platform, and Google answer answering spreadsheets are used for answering the questions, and the questions are multiple choice. No descriptive answer is there. So the children fail to express their ideas in their own words. The question is there, answer is also there. They have to select which one is appropriate one. So you have to select some questions, some activities that make them to think over the concepts you have shared with them, and chances may be given to express their thoughts. How do they feel? What is their feeling on this issue? This, how can you use this concept in day-to-day affairs? Then only you can make the things clear to the learner, and the tempo of learning is uh, keep moving. Okay. Keeping students engaged has become the priority since the lockdown. All the administrators make it clear that these video lessons in Kerala, we are using video lessons, not interactive videos, only one-way videos, pre-recorded videos for our classroom, and that is only method to make sure that children are engaged, or otherwise they will be in serious problem. Nobody is taking care of them. Parents are the only one to ensure their security and surety. So these lessons are started all of a sudden only because it makes the children engaged in some kind of a learning activity. This is not in compensation for a classroom activity, but the things are moving they badly day by day. So we can't predict when will the school reopen and the regular classroom will start. So we are forced to follow this based learning material. Pre-recorded video is not a solution for teaching, but it is only a support for the teachers. The teachers, practicing teachers can sit and watch this video and develop some activity. Some our prospective teachers also can watch the video and develop some activity in order to compensate its gap, not to provide more clarity of the concepts that discussed in the class, and learn your teachers, your trainees to analyze the class in a more interactive way and discuss with discuss with their teachers to rectify their doubts and get more clarity in that pre-recorded video classes. As a teacher, as a teacher trainee, as a teacher trainer, we should analyze each and every learning material in systematic way, how far it is useful in an interactive, live classroom, and how far these materials compensate the live classroom activities. Difficulty in providing interactive platform for all children. That's another challenge for the state government and the system, and even the teacher training institution or DED and DED students are waiting for reopening of school to practice their teaching. But the second, I feel that the DED third semester is already over and the fourth semester is going on. When the school reopened, is it possible to practice teaching in the schools, perform practice teaching in the schools? Because the schools are running short of time, they are also rushing for an examination, and at that juncture, are they able to provide accommodate a practice teacher in this situation? So different interests are colliding. The institutions, the organization can address this in their own way, and more interactive classrooms designed in the institutions and have an interaction, better interaction with your trainees, which will help them to perform better way in a digital world as a digital supported teacher. That is the opportunity provided by the COVID-19 to a practicing teacher and the teacher training institution. Instead of keeping ideal, you discuss and develop material that compensate and video classes for the discussion and observation. How this class is observed in concept of knowledge. Concept of knowledge is reflected in the class, how far it is able, or what are the strategies teacher adopted in this situation to transact the knowledge, the concepts to the children with examples. And analysis is possible in that way. Sometimes this idea may be better than the real classroom practice, because we in our institutions we send them for teaching practice, and the whole period 30 days or 40 days spent in the institutions and come back. We don't have enough time to discuss things about the practice teaching, because it is the end of the semester and the examination is waiting for them. We are all speedily shift into the next business, but here things are in slow motion, so you can explore this in a better way. Okay. Online classroom struggles for both students and teachers. That's a reality. In an online classroom preparation, teacher has to uh, took that much pain to uh, gather things from different sources. You have to search the internet platform and identify appropriate materials. Sometimes this material may be in English. Your children are in Malayalam medium. You have to translate in proper way and made appropriate method, maybe a PPT or otherwise a video clipping or a short document. All these things make more spend more time to preparation by the teacher, and student also has to record this coded one. This video has to be returned to or converted into the knowledge. That information is a knowledge by self-reflection. You have to, in a classroom, these things are happened in a real time. So the teacher will ask questions and make the children to think in a proper way and conclude with the real concept. But in an online platform, the communication is very difficult one, and we can't make sure that all the children are involved in this process. So that online classroom material preparation is a task requires more time than the regular lesson plan preparation or teaching module preparation methods. That means teacher took more effort. Teacher get more leisure because she is or he is sitting in his home or his working table and work. He does no need to travel to the school and come back. But she has to spare more time, and child also spare more time to acquire the concepts explained by the teacher. Keep them engaged during lockdown is also a challenge for them, because children are not there is nobody to support him in the family maybe to learn. But in a school, his peers, colleagues, or other teachers, and the teacher himself can support or herself can support the learning process. Learning and unlearning is very important. Teacher has to unlearn something and learn new things. The classroom preparation, she has to unlearn some things and put it in different way. Suppose the questions, the activities, tasks. How can we present tasks and activities in a online platform, online class? It is different from a real classroom. Teacher put more time and more effort to convert these concepts and these issues into a more effective activities that a child can do without support of anybody, and the child has only the resource available with him is maybe a textbook, and that activity is going match with the textbooks or the knowledge available in his family or in her family. Content and deliver it to the student is also a challenge. Delivering the content in real classroom, we can do various methods, tricks, seek the support of peer students to deliver. Suppose some teachers are poor in reciting poem, but the children may be well versed with that. Seek the support of them. But in an online classroom during pandemic, it is not effective. It is not possible to. It is difficult to get the support of a child to present the class. Maybe we can get the support. That depends. So content delivery is a difficult challenge in an online classroom for a teacher. So the teacher invest more time to make the delivery effective by appropriate planning and appropriate selection of resources available in different area, and take too much time, more time to deliver the concepts in a systematic manner with appropriate example. Then only the child can learn. I once I go to a standard one class where there is only one child and a teacher. I feel it's funny that the child is not able to write. Then I asked the teacher about her monthly salary, and she directly got my intention. Oh, you are telling that this child is paying an amount equal to my monthly salary as tuition fee. Sorry, can you sit in front of her and spend 45 minutes time? It's a challenge for me. There is only one child in front of me. I have to look at the eyes of this little girl of 5 years. Nobody in the classroom. My utterances are making her to learn, but you people running educational institutions, training institutions taught me to conduct class for 45 students. Your learning practices, teaching practices are always for 45-member classroom. But my reality is that there is only one student. And all utterances from my part is the only input for the child. As a person from that, you have to explain things. I was trapped. And we will sit together. We sat together and develop some material by using reading cards and drawing cards and develop it. That's the reality. Teachers are facing serious issues like this, this, and they seek support from authorities, but the authorities always make them fun as they are ideal teachers. So there may be a better communication between the institutions, organizations, and the teachers practicing in the field, and the authorities, organization should extend their support to the practicing teachers and prospective teachers, the universities, the training colleges, and the institution like NCRT, SCRT, all should join together to overcome the pandemic situation in our state, in our country, in our world, and keep stable the process of education and provide better teaching facility in future post-COVID period. Okay. Okay. Observation is a tool for the teacher. How observation can be practiced in a pandemic online classroom? I already told there is a limitation in grabbing the feedback from the children, and we have already taught them so many principles, theories that are visible in the classroom. But our teacher trainee is keep away from classroom where the where the teachers where the children are not in the schools. So how can they practice this psychological theories they learned? How can they cross match the philosophy about the learning, about the knowledge, about the teacher, about the mm, society, the concepts they acquired from the sociological theories that make them a better teacher, a best teacher, and that make them a professional teacher. We usually hear this question from our children. You have taught the psychological theories relating to education, but we haven't seen any relevance of these theories back at the practicing teaching classrooms. Teacher neither give attention to the learner or even give any weightage to their emotions. They are teaching the content without any without any priority to the children sitting in front of them. Is it for an examination? And most of the teacher trainees feel that these things are for, maybe I'm little bit critical. No, this theory is for passing the examination. No, it has a direct link between this classroom practice and this theory. And our teacher trainees understand the relevance of the theory when they go to classroom and observe the classroom and interact with the children. But unfortunately, this batch sitting in front of us fail to get and direct hands-on experience on the real classroom, the institution has to address it. And instead of giving the question or giving the answers for the questions, a real discussion should have take place there. Then only the some unhealthy things happening in our classroom will get rid of in future. Perspective teachers does not have chance to observe student behavior. Okay, the things they have learned in psychology classroom have some relevance, but if they have only a direct observation chance, then only what happens really in the schools, why the children behave in such a way, how to react to that behavior, how to modify that their behavior, how to make them a better citizen in future, and how I can be a better teacher in my profession. These things are all discussed in the after the teaching practice, but here these things should be discussed in the training sessions without sorry, without interruptions. Okay, children listening online classes also do not get a chance to observe his or her surroundings and learn. Learning takes place in a surroundings. Okay, I will finish off with one more minute. Okay. Classroom observation make them give any make them to observe the surroundings and get experiences from the surroundings. Okay, anything I have to listen? Lizzie, madam.
Dear participants, if you have any queries or any doubts, you can clarify it right now. We have 10 more minutes to go. Any doubts or queries?
I can use chat box too.
Yes, you can also opt for chat box, or you can switch on your audio and ask the doubts. Please make use of this opportunity.
If my English is too poor, you can use Malayalam to ask me questions.
It's
But
okay,
we
sir.
can understand it.
Okay.
Sir, I am Ronnie George, Faculty of English, Department of K College, Mananam.
Okay, George.
Sir, you have beautifully elaborated on the strengths and rather it was a SWOT analysis. You have been going through through the strengths and weaknesses of online platforms, and online teaching.
Okay.
So, sir, my serious concern is after this pandemic, once this pandemic has subsided, once the schools and colleges are back to normalcy,
okay,
will it have a negative impact upon students and teachers once it comes to in the physical classrooms once again?
Of course, because the children are very.
I'm asking you, what do you feel?
Okay. Shall I answer now or I wait for the other questions?
Sir, it will be better if you answer now itself.
Okay. Thank you. Because this pandemic created panic among the children, because they are under a serious threat with this pandemic. Because some of them feel that death is in our doorsteps. What happened to me next day? So when the institutions reopen, the teachers has to address these issues and make them normalcy, return them to normalcy by providing some kind of social counseling. What really happens, I feel that the school all of a sudden jump into the curriculum and try to finish off all these activities in this academic year itself. No, take some time to let the children come back to the real situation, make some fun during the last during 2018, there was a flood. After flood, the UNESCO intervened in the situation and provided social counseling to children who faces the issues in Changanur and Malappuram Wayanad area, because the children are very much afraid of the running water, which is not a real experience of them. They feel the water is very precious one, provide food, provide drinking facility, and all these things. That streams and rivers all of a sudden jumped into the killer water. So take some time to make the children into normalcy and give them counseling. Then only we can start the curriculum transaction and real schoolwork. Am I right, sir?
Yes, sir. You answered it well, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Actually, we need some time, sir. Otherwise, especially the school level, I'm
Yeah.
really concerned about the students at the school level. They will be really very depressed when it comes to a real classroom situation. So if you immediately jump to a classroom situation, I'm really worried about the mental state of the students.
Okay, the system and the administrators are very concerned about the finishing academic year, not to extend in the next year. But the children, we have to take care of the children and their mode. And if you lose something, that you can make of that by adjusting content or curriculum or vacation, postponing the vacation or weekly days, etc. But if the child is not ready to receive these things, so many issues are interconnected, because the child is emotionally triggered, the child is economically in a weaker situation, the child is maybe in starvation, child is socially totally isolated. When the child come back, all these things has to be addressed and keep him in a normal situation. Then only the system can address it. That demand should be there in our social platform, our media, and our teacher educators and teachers. Then the government will take care of it, or otherwise they will try to finish off this academic year in March or June, May. Okay, if you put the demand, there may be solution, I suppose so.
Thank you, sir. Do we have any more queries? Then over to Bindu Mol for the.
Thank you, dear MS sir,
Yeah.
for enlightening us with this new normals in this pandemic situation. Let me invite Ms. B.V. Adira, B.Ed student of Mount Carmel College of Teacher Education for Women,
Madam,
to propose the
madam,
vote of thanks.
madam, I want to interact, madam. This is P.S. Rao from Tirupati.
Okay, sir. Okay, sure.
I want to interact with sir, resource person. Can I?
Yes,
Madam, can I?
Sure,
Can I
sir.
interact?
Sure, sure.
Madam,
Sure,
please,
sir,
please,
sure.
thank you. Yes, ma'am. Sir, as your presentation throws light on the new normalcy, how we should switch over to the digital teaching. This is all very good. But the kind of situation where people like me work is totally related to particular rural areas, sir. Students are not techno savvy. They don't have Android phones, and they face internet connectivity problems. All these things. And how better can we make this alternative mode of teaching a better one during this pandemic situation? And my experience with online teaching is rather disgusting, to be frank enough. I created sir, are you getting me, sir?
Of course, of course.
Sir, I have created a WhatsApp group for the students to which I handle, sir. And every day before taking a class, I leave a message. And the attendance, though they are online, they are not interested to attend the classes online, sir. And this is really disgusting and disappointing on the part of a teacher. And how better can we make them take interest?
Okay, sir. Shall
Sir.
I?
Please, sir. You please, sir.
I am thinking of a beautiful book written by,
Sir.
its name was Divasopnam. Divasopnam
sir.
by Bijuk by Bakhega. He was a teacher from, actually he was not a teacher, he is a law practitioner who took interest in education.
Okay, sir.
And he worked in Gujarat. He made a lot of ideological class and took these things into classroom. The very first second, it was totally broken by the children, because he
Okay,
asked, asked to sit them and close your eyes and listen the voice surrounding you. The children
Okay.
make a lot of noise, and he sit
Okay.
back and think over it. What is my mistake? Because I never thought of my children sitting in the classroom. They were fourth standard children. They are very funny, and he sit and spend the whole night and revise it. He took another strategy. He began to tell a story. The fine
Okay, sir.
morning, he started with the story, and in between, he stopped and take attendance. So, digital device is not at all
So,
interesting to them. Make
you
them interesting.
can I interrupt, sir? You mean to say that depending on the context and situation, and we have to change our approach, our mode of teaching? Do you mean to say?
Of course, the teacher is the key. Teacher has
See, sir, so, okay, it's good, sir. It's good idea. But thing that I teach at UG level, sir, undergraduate graduate level, and most of the students, they are most of the students are matured also.
Yeah.
And of course, particularly I teach English, sir. Particularly regarding teaching English, regarding when English subject comes to, they attend, but they cannot reciprocate or they cannot pay attention. They, of course, they listen to us, but they cannot reciprocate. And sometimes I feel it is institutional on the part of the error on the part of the institution. School living stage and +2 level also, they were not well equipped with the required levels of teaching. And how can we make them take interest all of a sudden at graduation, undergraduation level, with the technology, using all these
Of course,
developments in technology?
radio is a good resource to communicate with a two-way. So it's on one-way system, but the WhatsApp group can be used as a two-way system. But we always,
Okay, sir.
as teachers of English, we always insist on them to react in target
Yes,
language,
yes,
English.
yes,
Why can't
yes,
you
sir.
provide a stepmother, that is their
Oh,
regional language? You taught
of
them
course,
English.
empty mother tongue.
You taught
Yes,
them in
yes,
English and let them respond in Telugu or their mother tongue, and
yes,
gradually this stepmother will go back and the mother will place there.
yes,
The
yes, yes.
transition stage is there
Yes,
very
yes, yes. Of course, I have been using bilingual method, sir, while
yeah,
teaching. Bilingual method. But
bilingual.
these bilingual,
Okay,
bilingual method,
okay,
and I use occasionally use mother tongue. These people are from, most people, they hail from Tamil background, sir. These people
yeah,
inherit Tamil and Telugu.
yeah. Uh-huh.
I work in a place which is very near to the border of Tamil Nadu. So,
Vellore.
no, sir,
Yeah.
Nagari. Nagari, they problem that they are not good at English, and they are not. They sometimes they don't understand Telugu also, and the problem that I don't understand Tamil. This is this is a great uphill task for me to make them understand. Okay, um,
Here, a
sir,
concept is there. You make
sir.
teach them Telugu, English, and let
Yes,
them to teach Tamil.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
To a teaching process.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, we have a question in the chat box. What is the alternative process for physical education classes?
The present alternative that is happening in Victor's channel with the support of CRT. CRT is designing that one because the playgrounds are closed due to lockdown, and pandemic threat is there. So the children maybe practice some kind of exercises either in yoga mode or other physical exercises to reduce their body size and manage weight, healthy situations. Whenever this school opens, they will, or whenever the situation change and favorable favorable for a play way activity. Let them encourage it to that one. And when the school starts, these things are also be take care. Almost all cases, the subject teachers try to grab more hours, and physical education period is taken away from children, and also in morning classes and evening classes reduce their physical exercise activities. Keep that things in that don't happen in classroom. Physical education periods and time for recreation and leisure should ensure to them. Okay. Any more
Thank you
questions?
so much, sir. No, sir. I don't find any new question here. Thank you so much, sir. Over to Sister Bindu Mall.
Thanks to all the participants and Ramesh sir for the lively interactive section. Now let me invite Ms. V.V. Adira, B.Ed student of Mount Carmel College of Teacher Education for Women, to propose the vote of thanks to Ramesh sir. Over to you, Adira.
Ma'am, audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Most respected dignitaries, our resource person today, Mr. Rakesh, and dear participants, a warm good afternoon to one and all. I consider this opportunity to post vote of thanks of this week long international webinar. I privilege and blessed, and I thank coordinators for staying. Resource person for today's session was Mr. Rakesh K, retired research officer, CRE, Kerala, who through his experience and knowledge started a topic opportunity or challenge in a suitable for all the participants as well as for me. On behalf of the organizing committee, all participants, I thank you sir, for sharing your time, valuable knowledge with us. This webinar indeed the vision of our beloved principal, Dr. Pushpa Aryan, Mount Carmel College Teacher Education for Women Cotton, and we always stood as firm backbone of all activists. On behalf of Carmelites, all the participants, I do extend my thanks to them. Now, I'd like to thank Sister Celia, UGC Librarian, Mount Carmel College of Teacher Education for Women, for the welcome speech, for the support in this webinar. Let me express my sincere thanks to you, ma'am. As we come close to the second of our webinar series, I truly believe that this webinar would have run smoothly without unending efforts of our coordinators, Dr. Ismail Joseph, Associate Professor in Physical Education, Dr. Lee Koshi, Assistant Professor in Education, Mount Carmel College of Teacher Education for Women. Thank dear teachers for all the efforts made in this start. Last but not least, let me thank all the participants willing to utilize this opportunity and stayed with us till the end of this meeting. Thank you to each one of you, and I hope that only these sessions was full for all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Adira. And thanks to all the participants. We will meet tomorrow at 1:30. Tomorrow is afternoon is the section. So we will be having the section in the afternoon tomorrow at 1:30. Till then, stay safe and take care. Bye.
Dear participants, you also have to fill in today's feedback form and the quiz. Thank you, Ramesh sir. Thank you so much.
Ma'am, it is audible.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, the quiz and feedback link posted in the Zoom chat box itself.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You have already posted today's
Yes.
quiz.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Zoom chat itself. Ask all the participants to fill the form and quiz everything in the Zoom.
I hope the participants have heard Ramakrishnan sir say it's already given in the Zoom. You have to fill in the feedback form and the quiz in the Zoom platform. Thank you.
Ma'am, shall I wind up? Shall I wind up?